So there are two different ways that I love to use cold plunges, two different methods that I feel like have really changed the game for me over the last 4 or 5 years of doing them. And I feel like if you're a beginner or someone who has a desire to get into cold plunges, you'll realize that these two things can really benefit you a ton. So one is gonna give you that big energy boost, that big rush, and the other is actually gonna calm you down. Now, this one is tough for beginners because it's gonna happen over time as you get good at cold plunging, but I'm gonna talk about that in a second. The first one, actually getting that energy boost and that drive, I like to jump in and out of the cold plunge, especially when the temperature of it is very, very cold. I'm getting some ice in there naturally from keeping the cold plunge outside. The temperature is almost below freezing. It's getting very cold in there. I love to jump in and out of there, get a head dunk or two. That gives me this quick rush, taps into my sympathetic state, my sympathetic nervous system, which is that fight or flight, gets me going, gets me fired up. But my favorite way to use it is when I can tap into that parasympathetic state, that rest and digest, that recovery state. And I found myself using this more and more at nighttime, actually. So when I go in there, I'll sit in there for that long period of time, that 3 minutes, that 4 minutes, even 5 minutes if the temperature is not crazy and it's something I can handle. I will find myself being very zen in that cold plunge, handling that stress, and that taps into my parasympathetic state and helps me recover, helps me zen down and calm down and wind down before bed. So if you're someone who feels like they need something like that, that is super beneficial, but it takes time to learn. Understanding how to control your breath in that really stressful environment is a skill and it takes time. I was just talking to one of my good friends who just started cold plunging, and he's good with breathing, he's good with this mental game, and he started to realize that when he was doing it at night, he started to understand that it was actually calming him down, which is the opposite of what people promote with cold plunging, always talking about doing it in the morning, giving you that energy boost. But you'll be surprised if you can really control yourself and get into that state of mind of calm. It will change the game for you at night. And really, that's where the recovery piece comes in. Not from sitting in cold and getting rid of your soreness, or like you used to put ice on an injury or something. It's more about really tapping into that parasympathetic state that 99% of us can't get in. So if you're really struggling with that, I feel like that's more of a reason to do it than the energy boost that so many people talk about. I hope this helps.